Yo, Goons, coming at you with a quick little Goldlewis video. Today, I just wanted to do a little follow-up on my running 842 and 862 video. So if you were practicing that from before, you might find that the way I was doing the input was a little bit tricky, but a friend of mine discovered sort of a better way to do this input. And I also want to take a minute to explain in more detail where you want to do the running 842 and 862, and just why it's good in general. So that being said, let's get right into it. So you kind of have two options to do this tech, and basically it comes down to when you're going to do your dash input. So the original way I was doing it is as follows. So you can see I do forward and dash at the same time, right? That's like the idea behind the original input, the original method of doing this. And it works for, off of PRC and kind of anywhere as well. Pretty much anywhere you can do this. And that's still good, right? But if you try to mimic that on the 842, you'll find it's definitely more tricky because you can't do back and dash at the same time. And so what we found is that you can actually do your up and forward input before your dash and still be able to get the runnings in. So what that looks like is basically during your end lag, you're going to do a quarter circle up forward or up back like this. And then you're going to press dash and then down an H. And it's actually a lot easier. But you can do it for your 862s as well. So you can see that I'm doing like a quarter circle up to forward there, instead of doing up and then forward and dash. I'm doing the dash basically after that upward quarter circle, instead of at the same time as the forward. That's the difference. It's still going to take some practice, but I honestly believe this is easier. I definitely think that this is going to be easier than the other method, especially for running 842, in my opinion. But I mean, to each their own, whatever way you can do this works. Now, a reason why this is good and where you want to use it, if you ever manage to do a meaty with 486, this is so plus on a meaty that you're always going to have time to run up in close slash if you hit it from up close. In fact, it's just going to be a true string. And so what you can do is you can basically psych the opponent out into thinking you're going to go for close slash or throw. And instead of doing that, you go for your running BT. Like that. And it's definitely pretty solid in those cases. And you can also do it off the PRC. And of course, because of the PRC slowdown and the guard crush, they're still going to be just galed into that. So it's really good. Really good. And then another reason why you're going to be wanting to implement this tech is because a lot of the time you're going to be doing the vortex on opponents' knockdowns. It's good if they don't know to backdash it. It's really strong. But most of the time you're going to have to dash up to get in range to do that, and then 2P and 862. And the idea of doing this tech is that basically you're still going to be doing a dash and then a 2P and getting your input out, except you're going to be doing the 2P before the dash instead of the dash before the 2P. And that will let you keep running momentum and end up a little closer to the opponent, even though the net amount of frames you spend buffering this is going to end up being the same. So it'll still hit meaty if you time it right, but you'll just end up closer. And it's also a bit of a mix-up. Like, it looks like a standing BT a lot of the time, which will mix up the opponent big time. Like that. Now that's the idea. It's really easy to test just by having the opponent mash out and wake up. Like, I'll have Soul Mash 5K and wake up, for example. You can see it's really not that hard to time meaty. But you're just going to end up being closer to the opponent. So it's just good. It's just really strong. So if you think the opponent's adapting and they're starting to be aware to backdash this, all you do to catch that is you just run up and you meaty with 268 after your whiff normal instead. And you will easily catch the opponent's backdash doing that. So that's pretty much all I had planned for this video. I do want to say, if you're watching this as it's coming out, I am live right now. Today, November 9th, I'm doing a tournament run at 5 p.m. PST. You can catch that over at twitch.tv/me_Lolo. Right, link in the description. That's all from me, Goons.